Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 7320 Northeast 70th Street here in Vancouver. We're located at the rear of the home. We have a 4-inch ABS cleanout as our point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. Here we go. And there is a second cleanout over here. I'm not sure if this is for sewer or not, but that little black spot on the ground, there's another one. So we'll see if there may be another line coming out there. And we'll at the end drain the line out in reverse and go back into the house from this same spot. And we do have some other line coming into here, so. All that stuff dangling from the top of the pipe there is just cobwebs, any roots or anything like that. We have a couple spots in the line here so far that I've seen some minor bellies. We'll take a look at those again when the line's all drained out. Get an accurate look at them, but they're looking pretty minimal. The lines are very, very clean. And generally, for a belly to become a problem, it usually takes at least 5 feet of pipe with around 3/4 to 1 inch of water at least before I really see much in the way of buildup. If you flush things like cloth rag down the line, that's a spot where it might hang up. But anything else is going to shoot through those spots. Little issue. Now I'm going to locate the camera head to see which direction this thing is headed right now. It's getting really difficult to push the camera. We may have to move to another point of access. Alright, just probed around here in the front yard area. That's where I'm picking the camera head up at currently. And I'm not hitting anything. It's extremely hard, compacted ground. It's hard to probe into to begin with. But I turned some more water on here. Hopefully that will help us get all the way out. Now that spot right there, unfortunately, that turn we just popped into here is going to stop the camera up. Now here at 140 feet, I'm going to try and look for another clean out. I'm also going to go locate and see where we're at currently. Now I located the camera head successfully. We're about 8 to 10 feet short of the street curb, And going off the manhole that's out in the road there, it looks like we're still about 30 to 40 feet short of the main lateral. We'll let this drain out here, and then I'll keep my eye out for another clean out. You know, we might have a clean out there right around 100 feet. That's generally by code where you see them every 100 feet. The hard part is just getting to it. The ground is extremely hard around there, so I'll probe around for a bit, but if it's a couple feet deep, I might not be able to find it. The other thing as well is sometimes you'll have a test tee, which may not have any clean out cap on it at all, so hopefully we can find something here. Alright, I'm going to go and start reeling back here. We do have a little water trickling still, but not much. And for being as long as a line like this is, it drains out exceptionally well. Generally, once you go over about 100 to 120 feet, about 90% of lines this length end up having huge bellies in them. This one is draining out beautifully for its length. It's very hard to grade a line like this that well and not have it settle. I tend to look at lines this length a little bit differently than your average sewer line. The length alone can cause debris to build up, as your toilets are not designed to push stuff 5 times further than the average sewer line is built. So if you're putting big wads of toilet paper down the line, or things like paper towels, stuff like that can hang up in these lines just simply because of the length. There's just not a lot of oomph of that toilet flush by the time you get out to almost 200 feet. So just be mindful of that. Just try and, you almost want to treat them like a septic system, only putting folded toilet paper down the toilet. And then as far as the kitchen sink goes, just be reasonable with the amount of food going down there. The biggest thing to watch is the grease and fatty stuff. That's what really ends up building up like crazy. Yeah, we do have a couple spots in here with some really minor settling, but and we do have a small amount of water still trickling through. There's a bathtub that's slowly draining. All this stuff is draining out to around a 32nd of an inch, which is nothing worth repairing at all. Yeah, right there was about the worst spot in the whole line, and it's only about a 1/16 of an inch of water there. And we have another tie-in right here. The line comes out the back of the house, and it looks like it wraps around the left side of the home. I guess it probably used to have a septic system. But this spot, like the other, the ground is so hard I almost need a pickaxe to even dig down through it. It looks like they put ample cleanouts in here. It's just getting to them is the trick right now. I'm going to reel out here, and then we're gonna try and scope through this other cleanout to see if it bypasses any turns and gives us an easier time getting out. But what it looks like is that the laundry area, that sink is being serviced by this other cleanout over here. I was able to see water flowing through it. When we had like the kitchen sink and stuff flowing or running, there was no water coming through that cleanout until I turned the laundry room area on. So. everything we just scoped there all the way out to 140 feet is in great shape, and especially for the length of it, has good flow. Got a couple or few spots with standing water, but nothing major worth repairing. All right, shoved back out through the other clean out here. Unfortunately, it was even harder than the other one. So anyway, I put a white marking in the front yard there. I just went out there with I have about a 2.5 foot probe that I just took my hammer and whacked it down into the ground there in the area I was locating that, and I'm not hitting anything after it gets to about a foot deep. Any deeper than that, I'm really not set up to dig a hole like that, especially a ground this hard. I mean, legitimately, you'd about need a pickaxe to dig through it. It's extremely hard. So anyway, I put white markings at both spots where I'm seeing tie-ins from the top that look like cleanouts. That one we just did there at about 100 feet. Generally, by code, you're going to have a cleanout every 100 feet. So it makes sense for that to be there. There's the potential that that one could be a test tee, which is something that once the line's installed, it does not have an accessible cap. But we also have another cleanout around 40, 50 feet out, just as the line starts to round the rear left corner of the house. That one would likely at least get you further. It's hard to say. With that big drop at the end where the camera hung up, you have a hard dive there and 2 back-to-back turns. Sometimes those spots will hang a camera up even if you're getting into the line, only 50, 60 feet prior to it. So it's hard to say if that would allow us to get all the way out. I'm fairly certain if that spot in the front yard area is a clean out, I'm pretty sure that would allow us to get all the way out to the main. Now that puts us close enough. Anyway, this spot right here, I put a white marking in the backyard area as well. In order to go through those, the hole would have to be dug there and the cleanouts would have to be uncovered. But everything we've scoped here, and I'm going to camera backwards from this cleanout here back into the house, just to make sure we get all this stuff here. There is 2 separate lines coming out of the home at the back that converge together. Going back towards the home here. A little bit of a belly there. Nothing too big though. And I'll go look inside here into the bathroom situation. I'm not even sure we have a bathroom connected to this portion of the line, and I'll go verify that. But if that's just simply handling laundry water and stuff, that belly is not going to cause any issues, especially if you have no toilet connected to it. It's when you have to start dealing with the solid waste and stuff that a belly becomes a bigger issue. Anyway, we are back inside the home here at this point. I'm going to just go look inside here, see what bathrooms we've got. Yeah, it appears pretty much any toilets and all that stuff are on the opposite end of the house that are being serviced by the other clean out. So this one appears to just service the laundry room area. So for that reason, I'm not worried about those bellies. There's stuff dangling from the top of the pipe. I think my guess is there may have been a clog at some point that deposited debris there. I'm not seeing roots or anything like that dangling from the top of the pipe. It's not a perforation in the line or anything. And this belly here, once you're into it, is sitting below 1/4 of an inch. It's not a belly I'd recommend repair on to begin with. It's just too small. Alright, we're going to just camera backwards into the house here real quick. This is the line we originally started from, and this is the one that services the toilets. Well, we might not be able to when they... Oh, there we go. There's a bit of a lip on the pipe there. They kind of stuffed the ABS into the two pieces of pipe together there and created a lip. That's one of those things that's really only a big deal if it were to be the reverse of that, and that lip were be in the direction of flow. Otherwise, everything's flowing over the top of that. All right, we're back inside the crawl space at this point. From this one as well. We do have some standing water here. It's very, very short though. It's only a couple feet long. It looks like the water dissipates there at about 17 feet and starts here at about 14.5 feet. So it's only about a 2.5 foot section of the line. This does get right to about 3/4 of an inch of water, but it's such a short section of pipe here. That's why we don't see any debris buildup. There's a little bit of particulate in the water. Anyway, it's a very, very short little belly. It's one that I don't recommend repair on just because it's so small. But again, if you put something down the line like paper towels or a giant wad of toilet paper, something that's going to hang up in the line to begin with, they will tend to stick in spots like that much easier. Aside from that, though, as long as this line has been here, it's extremely clean. It's definitely functioning without causing debris to collect. So. Anyway, everything we've scoped there is in good condition and has adequate flow, just functioning at this time. I do recommend, though, again, over here, that's the rear left corner of the house. They're looking at the front of the home from the street. That's where one of the secondary cleanouts is at, and then there's a third cleanout, I guess, in line with this one out in the front yard. Both are marked with a big white spray paint dot.